Your phone buzzes. A notification. Someone you know just posted a new car. Someone else just moved into a bigger apartment. Your feed is a parade of upgrades. New kitchen, new watch, new everything. You look at your own life. Same car, same phone, same apartment you've had for years. And a quiet thought creeps in. Why is everyone around you upgrading, except you? But somewhere, a version of you made a different choice years ago. Somewhere, a version of you looked at that same pressure and simply said no. Not out of stubbornness, not out of poverty. Just a quiet decision to stay put while the world around them kept moving. Let's follow both versions of you. Let's see where each one actually ends up. Start with the version of you who says yes. Yes to the new car when the old one still runs fine. Yes to the bigger apartment because it feels like it's time. Yes to the upgrade because everyone else is doing it, and staying still starts to feel like falling behind. At first, it feels incredible. New things trigger something ancient in your brain, a small hit of pleasure every time you unbox, unlock, or move in. Psychologist Philip Brickman studied this decades ago when he looked at lottery winners and people who'd suffered life-altering accidents. He found something strange. Within about a year, lottery winners weren't much happier than before they won. And accident victims weren't as devastated as expected either. Humans, it turns out, adapt. Fast. This is called hedonic adaptation. You feel it every time a new phone becomes just your phone. A new car becomes just your car. The thrill fades. Quietly, reliably, every single time. So the version of you who keeps upgrading starts needing the next thing sooner. And sooner again after that. Not because anything is wrong, just because the baseline keeps resetting. Here's the part nobody warns you about. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman, who spent his career studying how people actually experience happiness rather than how they think they will, found that our predictions about what will make us happy are almost always wrong. We think the bigger house will change how we feel every day. It doesn't. We adjust to it within weeks, then start noticing its flaws instead of its size. Meanwhile, the bills for the upgrades don't adapt. They stay exactly as large as they were the day you signed for them. 10 years pass for this version of you. New car became another new car. Bigger apartment became an even bigger one. Somewhere in there, the raises got absorbed before they ever hit a savings account. Because there was always one more thing that made sense to upgrade to. Now, picture the other version of you. The one who said no. Not no to everything, forever. Just no to keeping pace with everyone else's timeline for what a good life should look like. That version of you kept the same car an extra 6 years. Kept the smaller apartment 2 years past when friends started teasing about it. Wore the same coat through 3 winters while people around noticed and occasionally commented. It wasn't always comfortable. There's a particular kind of social pressure at play here, one that researcher Leon Festinger described in his theory of social comparison. Festinger proposed that people evaluate their own worth largely by comparing themselves to others around them, especially when no objective standard exists. Nobody hands you a scorecard for a good life, so you borrow one from your neighbor's driveway instead. The version of you who resisted felt that comparison constantly. Watched friends drive newer cars. Watched coworkers post from nicer apartments. Felt more than once like they were being left behind. But something was happening underneath that discomfort. Every year that version of you didn't upgrade. Money that would have gone to a car payment or a bigger rent check went somewhere else instead. Not to some flashy investment. Just quietly, boringly, into savings. Into an index fund nobody talks about at parties. Into breathing room. 10 years in, something strange starts to show up. Researcher Thomas Stanley spent years studying people with real, sustained wealth for his research into how ordinary people actually build financial security. What he found surprised almost everyone. Most of them didn't live in the biggest houses or drive the newest cars. Many of them drove used vehicles, lived in modest homes, looked from the outside completely unremarkable. The people spending the most on visible upgrades were often the ones with the least financial cushion underneath the shine. The upgrades were the point, not the security behind them. So here's where it gets interesting. The version of you who upgraded everything looks, on paper, like the winner. Better car, nicer place, more impressive photos. But look closer. That version of you is one bad month away from real trouble, locked into payments that assume nothing ever goes wrong. The version of you who said no looks, from the outside, like they're falling behind. Same old car, same modest apartment. But that version has options, a cushion, the ability to take a risk, change jobs, take time off, or weather an emergency without panic. Which one is actually ahead? Here's the twist though, because it isn't quite that simple. The version of you who upgraded had something real too. Experiences, a slightly easier daily life, fewer small frictions, a car that never broke down, a kitchen that made cooking enjoyable instead of a chore. There's genuine value in some upgrades when they remove daily friction rather than just signaling status. And the version of you who said no wasn't immune to cost either. Years of comparison, years of that quiet ache watching everyone else seem to move forward. Psychologist Sonia Lyubomirsky, who has spent her career studying what actually predicts long-term happiness, found that constant social comparison, even when you're doing objectively fine, can quietly erode satisfaction no matter how secure you actually are. So neither path was free. One cost money, the other cost peace of mind, at least for a while. The real difference wasn't upgrading or not upgrading. It was why. The version of you who upgraded because it solved a real problem, less time wasted, less stress day to day, ended up ahead. The version of you who upgraded because someone else did, ended up trapped in a cycle that reset the moment it arrived. The version of you who said no because it aligned with something they actually wanted, security, flexibility, options, ended up ahead too. But the version of you who said no while quietly resenting it the whole time paid a cost that never showed up on a bank statement. 10 years down either road, the difference was never really about the upgrade at all. It was about who was actually making the decision, you or the driveway next door. So think about your own life right now, something you've been meaning to upgrade, something everyone else seems to already have. Ask yourself honestly, do you want it because it would actually solve something in your daily life? Or because somewhere, without noticing, you started keeping score against people who were never actually in the race with you? Your phone buzzes again, another notification. Someone you know just posted a new car. And somewhere, a version of you looks at that same notification and simply keeps scrolling,